Hi everyone, thank you for being so patient. My name is Serene Malik, Executive Secretary of the African Civil Society Network on Water and Sanitation, Vice Chair of the Sanitation and Water for All Partnership. It's my pleasure to be here today. This is a momentous event. We have been working with it, as Honorable Pasaris is saying, for the last 8 years, from the point of identification where Sex for Water was taking place to today, legislating against this crime. And it wasn't just in the water sector. While the water sector is at the center of everything, we've all heard of Jaboya, sex for fish. We've heard of sex for jobs. We recently heard sex for a shot at sports, sex for tea, for grades, for pads, for you name it. It has literally permeated every layer of our society. And it needs to change and it needs to stop. The implications and the consequences are devastating on the victims and the survivors. And we are so happy that our honourable members of parliament, Honourable Esther Pasaris, who is the champion of women's issues, and those that are affected, Honourable Elachi, that has been phenomenal in this process. So we would also like to thank our supporters, Avaz, that actually helped kick this off. By having petitions signed from all over the world. Over 700,000 people actually signed this, demanding for change and demanding for something different. We have our aspirations as per Article 10 of the Constitution of Kenya, which actually says that we are all entitled and have a right to a dignified life. And we hope this will be a start, and we thank you all, and we are sure that we will see a change come through. To all those that are victims, to all those that attempts are being made on, it is changing. There is a law that you will be able to use to hold the perpetrators to account. Thank you.
Say thank you very much for being here. We are here today with fellow members of parliament who also spent some time over the weekend on a retreat to look at the amendment that we want to bring to the penal code. Which is ready, and we hope that our petition will, the petition that I'll bring to Parliament will be heard today. But I'm here to receive a petition from over 200 women from Kawangware, from Mukuru, from Kibra. These women have been victims and survivors of sextortion. So people will ask, what is sextortion? Sextortion is when you are asked for sex in return for services that are essential, like water, all right? So women in Nairobi, when they go to the cartels or the vending stores that sell water, right, when they can't afford to pay the bill, the men actually demand sex. Now, this is not only criminal, we want to make this criminal, but we also feel that it is degrading. It is a sexual gender-based violence against women. It's not covered in our Sexual Offences Act. We want to make sure that it's entrenched in the penal code, and then we want to also take it into other statutes. Other statutes like agriculture. We saw what was happening in the tea farms, right? We saw what happens for sex for grades. We see what happens in sex for grades, fish, in the fish industry as well, we see there's sex. We've seen even in relationships where you're in a relationship with somebody and then the person blackmails you and wants sex, or they will release the pictures. We've also seen sextortion in sports. Right, a lot of young girls in sports. We had our Deputy Speaker Gladys Cholet with us at the retreat, and she also shared some horrifying stories about young girls who are looking to go and excel in sports, and then they get a coach, and then the coach eventually starts having a relationship with this underage girl, and then before you know it, he's a manager come coach. As well as a husband, and you know the family feels that this guy has brought so much to our family, so the poor girl is caught up, and we've seen girls also been murdered because of sextortion. So for us as legislators here, we're very happy that our bill is ready, and we're hoping that the Speaker can assign someone to make sure that we can bring an amendment to the penal code. We want the people that extort sex for essential services to actually end up in jail. This is an offense. It is not right. We want the teachers that ask for sex so that they can give you good grades, all right, to end up in jail. We want anyone who asks for sex in the Employment Act. If you're asking for sex because you in return for a job or a promotion, we want to make sure that our women and girls are protected. Now, I'm joined here with Serene. Serene is from KEWESNET. KEWESNET is the Kenya Water and Sanitation Civil Society network, and we've been working with her for over 3 years, looking at study after study and cases of women who have gone through sextortion, and some of whom are actually infected by HIV. So for me, I want to say that civil society and Parliament work very well together to identifying the issues in society and making the right legislation for us to be able to deal with the criminals out there that take advantage of our women and our girls. So, where are your women so that they can help?
So sextortion, especially in children growing up in Kibra, especially the girl child. So you find like a girl is experiencing her menses or her menstruation, and she does not have the money to buy the sanitary towels. So she ought to sleep with a shopkeeper or a man so that she can get the pads.
Very much. I also join in. I know it's been a journey with Mama Pasaris, walking this journey for nearly 8 years, but with Serene in this matter. But this is a very interesting matter. I know many people will wonder sextortion in water. You know, in Nairobi, people wake up from 2 a.m. to get water because Nairobi County decides every time the best time to bring in water is always at night. So in the informal sectors of Kawangware, Korokocho, and all that, Kangemi, you'll find people waking up at that time, women waking up at that time to get water. Now, in the beginning, you might think it's a story, and you wonder, is it a true story? But it's very interesting now when you walk a journey at night and see. You know, a woman wakes up, is gone for water, but when you look, she is very anxious. She wants to get this water. The line is so long. And we do many things just to achieve all this. And it's very unfortunate, but that's what happens. For me, my plea to Nairobi Water, even as we received the petition, I have pleaded with Nairobi Water and I've pleaded with my engineer, Miguna, that it is important if we are bringing in water, if you are rationing water, bring water daytime. When people, that at the worst hour you can fetch water cannot be 2 a.m. in the morning, but at least you can start from evening, if that is when you want people to come from work and everything, and then we collect the water. So we met with the other members, with the Deputy Speaker. We went through all the bills, and we've realized this is the same issue that happened in Kericho. This is the same thing that is happening in the tea farms. This is the same thing. Every woman somewhere goes through sextortion for her to get either a job, for her to get something. And so today we are here after we have sat down and realized what amendments do we need to do. And so we are saying yes in the Penal Code, but it has to cut across. It has to go into the Employment Act, into the Sexual Offences Act, into the Sports Act, into the Water Act, into any act that deals with employment, that deals with a service. We must ensure that amendment is there. So for us, even as we receive this petition, we are saying we have done the amendments that we want, and we are hoping the Speaker will allow us to table this petition in the afternoon, which will be done by Esther Pasaris, and for us, we will just begin to give in more views about it. Then from there, we shall request the amendments we want, and we shall give in also the amendments that we want, so that if the Speaker says it goes to JLAC, well and good, we shall show them these are the amendments we want. And the best amendment will go to the Penal Code, and then thereafter we do an omnibus. An omnibus of just all the bills. So yes, I think the women have arrived. We will leave Mama County to proceed now and tell us and see who is handing over the petition.
Doris from Mukuru. It is an informal settlement within Nairobi. We have problems with getting the water commodity. It is very expensive. It rents from 5 shillings to 10 shillings, and at times even 20 shillings. As women, and we have families within the community, we prioritize what we need for our family, that is food. So when you need this commodity at times, people get to befriend the people who are selling water so that you can get this commodity. It is very essential for us, and it's not supposed to be sold at that price because they change prices every time. And as you know, people who live in Nairobi, there is rationing of water. During Friday, you might not get water. On Saturday, you need to do your house chores. You don't have water. So you must get this person to give you that commodity because they stock water to hike the price. When water is available, they make sure there is scarcity to hike the price. So you cannot buy 20 jerrycans of 40 shillings and you want to buy vegetables. You go for vegetables and then maybe get your way how you will get water. So some women, girls have been misused because of getting the precious commodity that is water, and water is life. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doris. Anybody else wants to speak?
My name is Malesi Shivaji. I'm the Chief Executive Officer with the Kenya Water and Sanitation Civil Society Network. This is a momentous occasion because today we get to speak for those who are vulnerable, those who have been voiceless for so long. Many a time we think it's a victimless crime, but indeed, when you look behind me, they are the victims. People who take it for granted that water is a human right. But other than the very basic challenges that women and girls face in accessing water and sanitation in our informal settlements, we are seeing that there is even further challenges through the crime of sextortion, where women and girls have to pay with their bodies, with their soul basically, to get water, things that we take for granted. So today we are very glad that through our honorable members, we are getting a vehicle to say no to this crime. And we are looking forward as civil society to support our honorable members, but really to put these people who have been voiceless for so long at the forefront and to give them a solution forever. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I have pleasure in receiving this particular petition and in lending my voice to support the criminalization of sextortion in our penal laws. I think we need to understand that so many a times those in positions of authority have taken advantage of their power to harass, to assault, and to dehumanize people of the opposite sex. This is a crime that is not only perpetrated by men against women, though that is the majority of the cases, but also in some instances, women against men. So it calls for a coalition of all genders to fight this so that we can stop all cases of sex for fish, sex for water, sex for athleticism, sex for sports, sex for so many things where those in authority demand sexual favors. And the crime we are trying to put in our laws is fairly distinct from that of sexual harassment and issues of rape. Because in this instance, it may appear that somebody has given their consent, but the consent is actually forcefully obtained in circumstances where the victim has no particular option. So we would like to thank the members of the public, the action groups, the committees that have brought in this petition and assure you of our support and that of a larger number of members of parliament to try and criminalize sex.